Okay. Right, we're just going to make this one something interesting, even though it's a fucking boring piece. Don't know how big we're going to make this one. We'll make it 200. See how we go. Let's see what we can do with this shit. What we do with this piece of shit. Going to turn that negative. It's got a lot of blue in it. It's got some blue and it's got some whatever red. Shades of red, not red actually, whatever. Gonna go and we're gonna just do something interesting with this, make it look more, yeah, negative positive image. We're just gonna drop the hue down to cold, and the red's going up full as we normally would do, but we do change things up and down a little bit to make it interesting. Let's see if we can make this boring piece come up a treat to become a work of art. Ha! It's not worthy of it, but anyway, let's just set this up for the lightest setting. We're just going to make it like that, and let's see what we can do. Right, this came from the North Shore Times, or the North Shore magazine. I call it the Snooty magazine, and there's another one called the Mosman Daily, the North Shore Daily, or Times, or North Shore and the Mosman Daily, or they're similar, but they've still got the same stuff, so we're ignoring that. Doesn't matter which one, they've both got the same piece of real estate advertising bullshit. Fucking rich people again being catered for, and the poor people being left alone. But who wants to be preached to by these advertisers anyway? Their fucking god is money, and they worship money, and they love to crawl up the asses of other rich people, because rich people basically like to piss in each other's pockets or lick each other's asses. They do. They get favours for behaving like that. But that's interesting. That looks really cold. That's brrr. I wonder how that got so cold. It looks interesting. Doesn't normally look like my usual colour scheme, but I think I like it, strangely enough. So now we're just going to use this as our master copy. So I'm thinking this looks like the middle section. It's funny. It's a funny one. See what else we can do with this. I don't know why it's gone so fucking cold. It's interesting. That's very strange. Now we're just going to set this up for copied paper. We're going to just overlap the edges to get rid of the border. Don't want a border on our originals because we just did it in negative positive, and I don't know whether we're going to reverse it back to positive again for an even interesting effect. So now we're just got to switch this off. Actually, we've got to make it a bit bigger, just a little bit of an enlargement. So 104 that way and 104 that way. And we're just going to go here, and it's funny, the blue, it's interesting how the whole colour scheme has just cooled itself right down. So I'm wondering how we're going to make this look even better. Maybe it was the sub-zero hue that I gave it. Now we're just going to warm it up a bit. We've got our red in the centre. I'm wondering if maybe we can up the red. And just wondering what we're going to do. We're going to see how this works. Let's hope it's a bit warmer and the colours have more variety to them instead of it just being cold. But it doesn't look too bad for a cold image. So let's see how we go. Let's see if we've made this piece of shit look better. Anyway, there's a little bit of extra warmth to it. I can see a little bit of purple and a bit of other colours in it. So I'm wondering if we're going to just keep it like that. Even though it's not quite, it's hard to say if it's my taste or not. But it looks interesting. It's an interesting colour scheme. We're going here and we're just going to see if there's anything else we can do to add to this. That maybe the hue could go all the way to hot. We can heat it up. Going to make the hue hotter and see if the hot hue makes it better. Okay. Okay, let's see how that goes. There, it's interesting now. She's turned right green. Some ways I like the green, but in other ways I think this one's a more balanced result. I think that looks a bit too green, so we're going to start again and set the hue back to a cooler setting. I think it's too hot. I think we've overdone the hue this time in the direction of the heat. So we're just going to go and we're just going to take our hue and we're just going to center it and we're just going to warm it up one big notch, and let's just redo that. We're going to have to make it all over again because I don't know the exact setting I had it on, so now we're just going to get it happening. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's better than the green, I must say. So that's our first quadrant. We're just going to print our second one. See, press finish and then start. Out that comes. There's our second quadrant. So we're going to make this writing, even though it looks a bit ugly. But hey, it's not easy not having writing when it's on a piece of advertising material. Advertising isn't designed to be actual works of art, as I'm trying to do here. So I'm just improvising here with some shitty things that capitalism produces and trying to put a new spin on it. Sometimes I take the piss out of it and deride it, but that's part of it. Capitalism is a stink. It's an evil stink. And it literally stinks to high heaven, if you know that old phrase. It really does. It's a horrible disease. And that's another description of capitalism. It's a fucking disease. And advertisers are fucking contaminated with it. There's very little advertising seems to prey on people who are desperate for solutions to various things. Problem is, they're often selling mirages. They're not selling real solutions. They're just trying to make a quick dollar here and there, taking advantage of people, you know. I mean, it's just not fair. These rich people just like to prey on people who are desperate, often poor, but it's not fair. But anyway, I think we've made this look a lot more interesting than the original. Now I think we can call it quits.